What is up, everybody out there? Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for doing so. It really means a whole lot to me. I hope you're having a good Sunday today because we have a brand new edition of Showcase Sunday for you, and it's going to be a good one too. Today's pickup is going to be of a Marvel comic cover that we picked up from the Funko shop early last month when they had their clearance sale for items up to 70% off. And this item that I got was actually $30 originally, but with the sale it was only $9. So that's 70% off right there. And I like the pop. I like the way that it looked. It's my first comic cover, so I figured why not pick it up. So I went and picked up that comic cover Funko Pop. And I also picked up the corresponding comic book that goes with that comic cover. So I'm going to give you a little brief overview of the actual comic in and of itself. But I'm not going to give any spoilers or anything like that because I know some people haven't read it yet. So I don't want to mess up the vibe for anybody because I want everybody to read it to not get any spoils by me. If you have read this comic, please. In the comments, y'all, please don't leave any spoilers or anything like that because we want these people out here to be able to enjoy the comic book in and of itself. But the comic book that I'm talking about is the Avengers, the Initiative Secret Invasion comic cover. And look at this. This is a nice looking Funko Pop right there. How it has the Skrull dressed as Iron Man. I mean, that is just cool right there. Check him out. And this is from the 2023 WinterCon also. And look at the art. I'm going to give you a better look of the art because this is kind of hard to see. So I'm going to give you a better look at it. And that right there, the side of him right there, Iron Man as Skrull. There's the back of him right there. Got the glam art with the cover art from the actual comic book in and of itself, which is awesome. And there goes the glam art right there on the side of the Funko. Now, I wish that I could take these out of the wrapper and everything like that, but I'm the type of guy where I'm going to keep it just like this. And this is what it looks like. Iron Man as a Skrull, or a Skrull as Iron Man, taking over Iron Man. So, you know I had to check out this comic book to see what this is all about. So, let me show you the comic book real quick. Here's the comic book right here. And this one is the premium edition. It's a hardcover comic book. It is volume 3, and it has comic books 14 through 19. So you have all those comic books in one book that you can read the entire story about the Skrulls trying to take over the Union. Now, let me give you a brief overview about this. This is pretty similar to like the Skrulls trying to take over in Captain Marvel, and also the Skrulls trying to take over in Secret Invasion over there on Disney Plus when that came out. But this one is a little different because this one, what the Avengers are trying to do is they're trying to have an initiative to where they have superheroes in each and every state in the Union. And I mean everywhere in the Union. But the thing is, when you're dealing with these Skrulls, they have Skrulls out there in high-ranking positions like Yellow Jacket, prime example, Hank Pym. This guy is the chief administrator of the 50 State Initiative with Tony Stark. So this man has everybody pretty much fooled because the Skrull home base is in Camp Hammond, which is pretty much like Camp David to the president today, but in the comic books, their base is called Camp Hammond. And that is where the Skrulls are really trying to take over everything. They're trying to take over everything from there. And they're trying to take over everything in each state. But the thing is, The Avengers, they're separated in a whole bunch of different places. So they have cadets in training that they're using to help fight these Skrulls. Now, some of the people who were actually training the cadets were Skrulls themselves that they didn't know. In this book, they have issues trying to detect who the Skrulls are. It's very hard for them because the Skrulls have developed something to where it makes them very hard to detect. So now people don't really know who they're dealing with. And they're saying, we don't know who the enemy is because the enemy's us, because we don't even know who it is. But there's a group of guys called the Skrull Kill Crew. And that is these guys right here. The Skrull Kill Crew. This guy right there in the middle, his name is Ryder. He's like the leader of the Skrull Kill Crew. And like, he can't stand Skrulls. All he wants to do is kill Skrulls all day long. Which is cool, because that's really what needs to happen. The Skrulls don't need to mess around and take over the whole planet. And also, along his side is the sidekick right here. Her name is Riot. Riot got turned into this insect type of giant thing that is a beast. You do not want to mess with Riot. Riot will mess your whole day up. And this guy over here, his name is 3D Man. And 3D Man, he has the ability to see a Skrull no matter what their disguise is or what they've done to disguise themselves. He can see a Skrull because he has these special goggles that was given to him by the first 3D Man. So when the first 3D Man, I believe he passed away, or I believe he probably got out of the game. If you know exactly what happened to the first 3D Man, please leave it down there in the comments, man. But yeah, this 3D Man right here, he will see whoever the Skrull is, and this man will kill everybody that is a Skrull. This man does not like Skrulls. But the thing about this whole thing is they don't know that there is like a legit Skrull in every single part of the 50-state initiative. In every one, there is a Skrull out there that is dressed up as somebody. That's why in the cover, you can see Iron Man dressed up as a Skrull, and you see all of these other characters. Let me kill this light for a second. You can see all of these other characters right there that are dressed up as Skrulls, ready to take over. They're ready to take over the whole thing, which is kind of really crazy about that, because the Skrulls, like, we all know the Skrulls want to take over the planet. People thought the Skrulls wanted to coexist with the humans, but you know, if they can shapeshift and do anything that they want to do and be whoever they want to be, they're going to do what they can do to take over the planet so the planet can be theirs by themselves. So they're not really thinking about the human race. They're thinking about their Skrull race and seeing how they can go living throughout, I guess, for the rest of the time on Earth, because they're trying to just take over everything about Earth. But now, back to this Pop right here. This Pop, like I said, it is so nice. And I really wish I can take him out so I can show you that Skrull dressed as Iron Man, because he is so cool looking, man. His facial expression, you can see he's frowned up, looking like he's ready to fight somebody or something like that. He has Iron Man's helmet, ready to put it on. This Skrull is ready to do his thing as Iron Man. And that is totally off the wall, because you got these Skrulls dressed up as everybody, and it's only a certain amount of people who can even see the Skrull, because they have gotten so good at disguising themselves that people can't even tell who's a Skrull, who's not a Skrull. So if it weren't for people like 3D Man, who has those goggles that can tell you who's a Skrull and who's not and who's to kill, that's what you need to do. And it's pretty crazy right there. I'm going to stop right there, because there's a whole bunch of characters in there. Some people are Skrulls. Some people you don't know who's a Skrull until later in the books that you find out that you wouldn't even think was a Skrull. But you know, when you're dealing with these Skrulls, they are in some of everywhere. Like they said in the book, they have infiltrated everything. And now the good guys are taking the war to Camp Hammond because the Skrulls, they're just going out all out assault on planet Earth. They're just trying to take out everybody on planet Earth that's not a Skrull. So that's pretty crazy. And when I read the comic, I was like, man, this is a pretty good comic book to check out, because it really tells you some things about the Skrulls, and it tells you some things about some new cadets that are coming up that may one day be in the Avengers. Because like we all know, everybody don't live forever. So you're gonna have like somebody's gonna come up in the ranks or something like that, and you're gonna have people taking over high-ranking positions, trying to look out for the world, because the Skrulls ain't looking out for anybody but themselves. But you do have some Skrull sympathizers out there who do love planet Earth and who want to stay on planet Earth, and who have disguised themselves as people from Earth, and they're trying everything that they can to not be discovered. But like I said, some of these guys, the plan didn't work. Some people did get discovered. I'm not gonna say who got discovered, and I'm not gonna say who didn't get discovered. I'm not gonna say who got killed, if anybody got killed. I'm not gonna say any of that. I'm just gonna give y'all that brief overview right there, because the Skrulls, like I said, they're just trying to take over the whole planet, and there's a 50-state initiative that's trying to stop this. But it's kind of difficult to stop this when you have high-ranking Skrulls that are in high-ranking positions within the initiative. So it's a wild read. It's a good read. When I picked it up and read it, I knocked it out in like a day and a half. I think it's really good. It's really a page turner if you dig like the stories about the Skrulls and stuff like that, because I really like the Skrulls being talked about like in Captain Marvel. I also like the Skrulls being talked about in Secret Invasion, and I also like checking out the Skrulls in this comic book, because I didn't even know this comic book was even in existence until I saw it on the Funko shop, and I just thought the comic cover looked cool, and I just wanted to know, well, what's the deal with Iron Man dressed up as a Skrull? Dressed up as a Skrull. Why is a Skrull dressed up as Iron Man, and all these Skrulls in the background, everybody's dressed up as somebody, like they're just trying to take over the complete everybody in the Avengers. So yeah, with that, I know that might have been a lot of information, so I tried to like keep it condensed a little bit, but I assure you, if you read this comic, I'm going to leave the link down there in the description. So if you want to read the comic, you can check it out too. Or if you would like to go to Funko still has this actual pop on their website. Last I checked, it's not on sale, but you may be able to check periodically, because they may have it on sale at some point again. So you might want to check that, or keep on looking for that if you're into this, or if you just like the comic cover the way it is. You can pay the full price for it and get the enjoyment out of it, because it is a really, really cool looking pop. And it's a 2023 WinterCon limited edition exclusive that's just fire. It's just a really dope. It's a really dope concept that they did with the comic covers, and I like having the comic book that coincides with it, because you get the backstory from the comic cover that you may not have known about. So I'm glad I picked that up. Yeah, man. And so with that, that's all we have to share with you on today's showcase, y'all. I hope you enjoyed the showcase. I really enjoyed reading this comic book, because it was really fun. I'm glad I have my very first comic cover in the collection. I really like this one a whole lot. I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to get more, since I like this one so much. So, yeah, man, with that, we are done. we are totally done with today's Showcase Sunday. I hope you enjoyed this Showcase Sunday. I hope it wasn't too long. I hope it wasn't too long-winded or anything like that. If it was, I'm really sorry about that. But I just had to get that information out to you. So if you like this comic book or this pop, check out the comic on Amazon and check out the pop on the Funko shop because it's still there. And with that, we are done. You know what? If you like this video, please give it a like, comment, subscribe. It really helps out the channel a whole lot. We really appreciate each and every one of y'all for doing so. Thank you so much to my current subscribers. Thank you. You all mean a whole lot to me, and I appreciate you believing in me. So thank you so much. And so everybody else, please think about giving us that sub. We would really appreciate it. And with that, you know how we always finish. You are a diamond. Stay strong. Keep shining. We're out. We will see you next Sunday, y'all. Peace.